What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and we are going to go over the charts. So as you guys know, we had a moving week this week. We've been moving in. We're still not totally finished, but I did want to get this video out. If there's any echo or anything, I apologize. The studio's not totally set up yet, but pretty much everything we've been expecting is happening in the markets. We're going to go over some older charts. I'll go into the smaller time frame with Bitcoin and just tell you what I'm watching for, what I'm looking for. And if you guys haven't joined the Savage trading competition on Prime XBT, definitely still have time to do it till Monday. If nothing else, you'll learn to use the platform and can practice trading for free. Link is down below in the description. Let's get into it. Let's talk about what's going on. So we've been watching the Dow Jones. We've had, now none of these charts I have done any changes to, right? These are the same charts I've been showing you guys. Everything seems to be playing out beautifully. We did break this trend line. We closed back above it, but nevertheless, I think if we next week we get back below this, I do see us going down to possibly the 27.5. Now, I've talked about for a long time this right here, the biggest money grab in history. I still think that is playing out, guys. I still think it's going to get very ugly. It could get a lot worse than this 27.5. I also have targets at 22.1 and then much, much lower, looking at it as a bubble pop to get way back down into here. We won't even talk about those numbers until we get to that range. You can see my dog down here came in to visit. All right, so let's get into it. You can see on the RSI, this is what we've been expecting here on the rising channel. Our last touch was at the top. I think we come down, retest this bottom. If it breaks through this bottom, it could get very ugly. So be careful. Again, I say it all the time. I know a lot of people are extremely bullish, but I would just be very careful with that, guys. Now, taking a, and when I talk about the biggest money grab in history, I think in all markets, guys, I think there is a humongous crash coming. Now, is that doom and gloom? No, that is major opportunities coming if it does play out this way. Remember, none of this is financial advice, but there could be some huge opportunities. And I don't mean just to buy and it be a quick run up to the top, a long, slow run up for years and years and years to come. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm expecting to happen, but I could be dead wrong. So far, everything seems to be playing out beautifully. So NASDAQ, we had this target up here at the top of this channel, 15,926. We hit it. I'm looking for us to come down and at least retest this 14.3. If that breaks, you can see the arrow I had drawn in here. That would get us the target about 12.2. If that 12.2 breaks, again, same thing, could be a huge, huge crash coming. Like, really bad, guys. Usually bubbles come back, and we'll take a look at some bubble charts at the end. We're also going to go over XRP, BNB, Litecoin, Ethereum. Kind of going to squeeze everything into this video because I haven't made a video all week. So that's what I'm looking for. Let's look at S&P. Let's zoom this back out real quick. Look at S&P, same thing, rising channel. We hit our top. The bottom of this channel, depending on where it hits, right? If we do break the bottom of this channel, our target's somewhere around the 3,700 range. And the same thing, guys, bubble pop pattern could get very, very bad. We could come down to this bottom long-term trend line, right? All the way down to the mid 2000 range. If that breaks, then it's much worse than I thought, right? Tesla. Guys, this is a very old chart. This is a few years old. Actually, we made it back here September 22. So actually about a year old. We had these targets, the 151 in blue, the 106, and the 49. We got our bounce at our, these were major bounce areas to watch, right? We got our bounce here, came back, retested the 151, came up and nailed our trend line, right where we were expecting to go. And now, where is our drop from? If we break this 209 area, believe we come down to at least the 151, but I still think I'm going to be a buyer between 40 and 50 bucks sometime the end of this year, possibly beginning of next year. I have not changed that a bit. Here's the DXY, guys. We broke through our rising broadening wedge here. We've broke through this yellow dotted lines right here, this falling wedge. The measured move of that falling wedge is 109. Now we have resistance right up here around the 106. may retrace, maybe and have a decent retrace before coming up to 109. And then, of course, looking at this bigger falling wedge right here, if we take a measured move of that, let's take it from this touch. That gets us all the way up to around 115. You guys know I've been bullish on the dollar for a long time. I remain bullish. Everybody wants to just look at this stuff. Look at the dollar, guys. This is just a retracement for the dollar. I think the dollar has much higher to go. Possibly way up in these ranges. Let me zoom that out so you can see. But we could have a major rally in the DXY, which would go along with the markets collapsing, right? Here's my big macro monthly chart of Bitcoin, right? 5 waves complete, big correction here. So our ABC correction, I do believe, could get us as low as the 3,500. We've been talking about this for 2 years. We're also going to look at a chart here in a minute. That's a very old chart that we called a bunch of stuff on, and I'll show you that in a minute. But as you can see, wave 1 is the only place this correction cannot go past, and that is somewhere around 1,1400, somewhere in that range, right? So as long as we get a bounce before then, Bitcoin is not going to die. If we break below this level, then I would get pretty concerned. But most people think I think Bitcoin's going to zero. That is not what I think. I think the biggest opportunity of our lifetime is amongst us. It's coming. I don't think it's here yet. Could be. I don't think so. So we broke this trend line on the weekly that I've been telling you guys to watch down here, right? We broke it up here in the red. So what does that tell me? We have further down to go. The next support on the VRVP right here is about 19.7. But these areas we will most likely get bounces on, all these high volume nodes here, right? I just wanted to show you this. If this is a 5 wave count, this is where I'm expecting us to get to that 35 to 9,500 range. Now here is another wave count. Let's look at it here. So this is a falling wedge count. Same thing, gets us down to that 37 to 97, 35 to 9,700. Still looking at that. MACD is super bearish. It is looking very ugly for the bulls. It has been all the way since the top up here. Now, this is that chart I wanted to talk about. If you guys have been watching me since back here, you can go back in March of 21, watch my videos where I told you the top would be around 64 to 65,000. We were still at like 57 when I was talking about that. And I actually gave you the wave count after we hit this wave 2, and we nailed these perfectly. I did not think this was going to go up to here. Of course, everybody else thought it was going to 100,000. But I didn't think we'd go this high, but I did once we crossed this blue line. I told you guys to get out, and that was back on December 2nd, 2021. I made a video talking about the Amazon compared to Bitcoin bubble pop, which we're going to look at those bubble pop patterns at the end of the video. You're definitely going to want to stick around and look at that. But anyways, then we called all of these targets right here. We called that 25. I said if that broke, look for the 15.6. If that broke, look for 97, right? We got our bounce here. And look where we're bouncing around now, right on that 27 or 25,000, the old target over here that became resistance, right? Now, if that holds as support, you know, maybe the bottom's in. I just don't see it, guys. Let's look at where the major resistance is. That would be right in here now, Actually, let's make that a little bit more clear. So our major resistance is around 27.7, 27.8. So if we get some crazy big rally on the weekend, which is always possible, you know, we could get up to that range. But if we do, I would expect a huge rejection. Like most of you guys have been watching my channel long enough, know I talked about the 31.5 to be a major short area. We talked about that 6 months ago. We did get in some major shorts there, and congratulations to those of you that did not jump on the new all-time high wagon. Anyways, this is what I'm looking at now. What would this target be of this falling wedge here? Let's take a measured move. Make sure I got it in there. Yeah, take a measured move of where it broke. Where does that get us? That gets us back down to that 9,700. That's looking at this rising broadening wedge. So that's one of my targets, to 9,700. Could that be the bottom if we hit it? Very possible. But there is a possibility going down to that 3,500 still. So let's take a look at this daily chart, same thing. Just mix match the lines a little bit. Right now we're getting a bounce at the 0.382 fib, 25.6. Once we break, open and close the daily below there, of our next stop is going to be the 0.5 at 23.6, right? That may be way over in here, who knows? But when that happens, when we break this white trend line, guys, it's probably going to be the big capitulation. And if that was to happen in the next week or so, it'd be around 23,000. We'll be keeping an eye on it. You can see we also broke this trend line on the bottom on the daily RSI. This should become resistance, right? This trend line right here on your RSI. Draw that in if you haven't. Now, a quick word from my sponsor. They do support the channel. Definitely check them out. By far my favorite exchange. They don't trade against you. You don't get all the scam wicks. They got a lot of cool features on there. Definitely check them out. Here it is.
Begin your path to financial freedom. Gain up to a $7,000 bonus on us. Register and use promo code. Deposit and enjoy a 7% bonus. Available now. Link in the description.
All right, let's get into it. So this is Prime XBT. You can trade Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, everything, all from one exchange. I'll probably have another trading contest soon, but this one's still going. I'll show you guys where I'm at. As of right now, I am 16 out of 1,500. Not too shabby. I'd say, you know, if you're within the first couple hundred, you're probably a decent trader, right? So anyways, I can start a new trading competition probably in the next couple weeks, but this one doesn't end until 8/27, so Monday. This one ends. We'll see what happens there. But definitely check them out. They also have, you know, this is where I trade on the global markets here, where you could trade Bitcoin there too. They also have a cryptos futures right here. You can trade on here where it's set up kind of like more like the other exchanges. If you like that view, I'm not a big fan of it, but definitely check them out. They're by far the best exchange. Guys, if you want to learn how to trade, it's totally free on there. Use my link down below. You can use my promo code SAVVY50. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus. Savvy25 will get you 25% off of your fees. One other thing is you can trade totally for free if you join the contests on there. There's always some contests going on. So a great way to learn to use the exchange. I know a lot of people are asking about getting into trading. Well, that's the best way to do it with zero risk. Just do it free for a while. Learn the platform, and then, you know, slowly, if you get profitable on that, then you put in some real money, trade that. You know, be careful, because once you put real money in it, it changes your trading a little bit, right? So this was a wave count we were looking at. So far, it doesn't look like this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, unless this was 4 or 3 here. We get a 5 up and then 4 down. So let's get that count off there. Let's just look at what happened here. We were looking for our rejection here, which we got. And right now, one of our targets, and this is what usually happens, a measured move target, right? This has became our resistance so far, that 26.6. And then, of course, the 27. But that 26.6 is also lining up with the 55 EMA. So be careful. If we get up there, I would look for some rejections in this area, right? First point of resistance we would have to break to get up there is 26.1. But let's take a look at a few more things here. So if we looked at this as a bear flag here, which could very likely be, there's a few different ways we can look at this, right? Let me zoom out a little bit. Let me move this over. Keep that right about there. Let's just throw something on here real quick. Throw a trend line here, a trend line here. So if this is the case, we could bounce around in here for a while, but let's take a look at some targets coming up to the downside, right? So if we were to break down from here, it could get us down to around this 23.9. But you know what? I'm just going to look at the trend lines right now and show you what I'm thinking is looking like. Somewhere right around here, we're going to have some support, depending on how long it takes to get down there, around that 23.2, right? That's this old breakout right here from this falling wedge, right? So, and Let's look right here to it, 22,960. You'll see there's a high volume node there too. Say 23,000, very high volume node there. May get a bounce up from there. But guys, if we break this bottom trend line here, and it will put somewhere around the 22.2 range. If we break that, guys, we're headed down, much further down, at least 19. Then we have the 1670. But like I've said, we'll take a look at the bubble pop patterns here in a minute. Real quick, Binance. I've been telling you guys and warning you guys about Binance. Just be cautious, be careful. Looks a lot like this FTT chart. I don't care about news. I don't care about anything else. I go strictly by data on the charts. And I've warned you guys about this about 6 months ago, that this was lining up to be ugly. It's still looking ugly. Let's zoom in to just this little area right here. As you can see, we hit our first target, 202. Told you, look for a bounce there. Go back and watch my videos. We've been talking about this for a while. I've not changed the charts. Once this 202 breaks, where are we looking for? Around 148. Why is that? There is a measured move. If we take a measured move from this right here being the bear flag, this being the flagpole, put it down to the bottom of the bear flag, get you that 148. And we look at the bigger rising channel, right? This is the longer term from when we broke. Take the measured move of that from where it broke, 67 bucks, guys. You can say it can't happen. I'm telling you it can, and to be cautious, right? Again, nothing's financial advice here, but so far, all of this has been playing out beautifully. Here's the XRP chart. I've shown you guys on this yellow dotted or yellow top trend line. We usually get wicks up to there. We did not get there this time. All this is hype, and then it's gone. Hype. The hype is getting less and less power. That's why I put that X here, right? We cannot close or open a weekly candle above this white trend line every time. We get nail it and get rejected heavy. Now, if this breaks up past that, have at it. XRPers, good luck, but it doesn't look like it's happening, guys. This looks like a dying penny stock if I ever seen one. I know it's not a penny stock, but the pattern is a dying penny stock. Ethereum. So Ethereum, we broke. Right there is what I told you to watch for last time, 1783. We broke it. Now I think we're headed down to around the 1431 unless we can get back above the 1829 range, right? I do see us most likely getting down to this 1431. If that breaks, we have a measured move. We have a few. We have a measured move off of here, looking at this as a head and shoulders, and that gets us down to about 926, right? And then we have a measured move off of here. Once we break the 1430 down to possibly 280, and I have even a much lower target at 114 as a possibility. You can see the high volume nodes down here. Just be cautious, guys. I cannot stress that enough. I am not telling anyone what to do. You can do whatever you want. Be bullish, be bearish. I don't care. But at least take this into consideration, guys. Remember, the people that are telling you the bottom's in are the same people that told you we were going to 100,000, 300,000, 500,000 2 years ago, last year. It hasn't happened, guys. Let's look at Litecoin. Litecoin, we broke our target there, our resistance or our support, 78.8. I said, watch for 60.88. Bam. We nailed that. Now, expect a bounce. Once we break this bottom trend line, guys, I've said it. I've had the same targets for Litecoin for a long time. Around 23 bucks and 15 bucks. I still think we're going there. So again, be careful. Here's the Amazon.com bubble, right? This is Amazon. Notice in bubbles, they always return to where they began. You always get 100% rally. I know this doesn't look like it, but that was 100%. It went from 41 cents to 92 cents, right? This rally right here. Now we've had our 100% rally, which I told you there would be a false bottom. Way up here, I was talking about this. There'd be a false bottom. Everyone would get super bullish. Everybody would be screaming 100K again, bear market over, blah, 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 and only to get a reverse and come back down. All bubble pops. You can't say all, but 99% of them all do the same thing. They return to where they began. They began down here between 35 and 9,500. That is what I'm looking, 35 and 9,700. I'm still looking for that. We talked about the weekly breakout. I told you this would signify a false bottom once we broke the weekly like we did over here. We did that. Now we come back down to retest, and that will give us our true bottom. Now, here's another one, Nintendo bubble pop. Now, all these bubble pops took multiple years. Nintendo and Sony haven't even reached their all-time high yet, and it's been 15 and 20 years, right? But you can see here, you had that 100% rally, came down, always returning to where they began, right? That's just how it happens. All that is all the people that made tons of money here dumping on all the people that missed out, and they're trying to get in here in the bear market rallies, right? And then it crashes down. So again, guys, charts don't lie, man. And a lot of people just get so hateful and say you hate Bitcoin because you think it's going down. No, I am telling you guys what I think these charts are doing. And hopefully you're at least listening and taking it in and considering that all these YouTubers that claim to be pros don't know what they're doing. So just be careful. Here's the other one, Sony. Same thing. It returned to where it began. You had a few big rallies in here, bear market rallies. But it's the same thing, guys. A lot of big boys made money up here. They still have some left over. So every time it gets a bump up, they dump more. They're getting out, right? Now, that doesn't mean it's over, right? They always come back. Bubble pop doesn't mean it's a tulip bubble and it goes away and disappears forever. Bubbles are actually pretty common and pretty normal in markets. And the big ones like these multi-year bubbles are the biggest money-making opportunities if you get in at the bottom. And that doesn't mean it's going to shoot straight up to new all-time highs. I know everybody believes in the 4-year cycle. The only 4-year cycles in any markets are the you-know-whats that happen every 4 years. So this could surprise people. And when bubbles pop, another thing I wanted to mention that happens is confidence is lost in the markets, right? That's why it takes so long to come back. Look at Amazon. It took a long time. It doesn't look like it, but from this all-time high in 2099, it took 20 years to break that all-time high. 20 years, right? Just be careful out there, guys. Telling you, and a lot of people are trying to get rich thinking they're going to throw $1,000 into Bitcoin and get rich. That's not how it works. The money is made trading. Have a great day. Sorry, such a late video. I just wanted to get one out. I haven't been able to make one in a while. And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. Leave your comments below. Join the trading competition over on PrimeXBT. There's also a Discord link down below. You can join that, but you have to have your phone verified with Discord to get in there. So have a great day, guys. I'm out.